Hello. Welcome back to another episode on Reddit Stories. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe and leave a like. Let's get into the story now.
My husband 36M and I 36F have been together for 16 years and married for 14. We have 2 daughters who are 13 and 12. About 3 months ago, I cheated on him with my coworker once and immediately regretted it. To be honest, I still haven't figured out the real reason I cheated. On the surface level, the reason would be that my husband was too caught up with work for a couple of months and I felt neglected and unappreciated at times. I know that isn't the real reason, so I'm trying to figure out what is. Through individual counseling. I only cheated on him that one time and immediately told him the next day because I couldn't bottle up my guilt and shame. He was shocked at first but then went on to call me the most horrid names. I deserved it. I deserved a lot more than that. I don't even know how it got to the point of me sleeping with my coworker. It started with innocent flirting and before I knew it I made the worst mistake of my life by sleeping with him. I wish I'd gotten hit by a car that day before sleeping with him. I cut off all contact with my coworker and gave up my phone to my husband. I wanted to reassure him that I was willing to make this work on his terms. Whatever they were, as long as he would give me another chance. Even though in my heart I knew that I wanted another chance to prove myself, I told him that I would understand if he went through with a divorce. Anyways, I told my husband that I would do anything to regain his trust and expressed my sorrow and regret for having hurt him so much. My husband has always been the type of guy to give a person only one chance. Even in his friendships. If the trust had been broken, he wouldn't give the other person another chance. He said that he wanted a divorce, but then the whole quarantine thing happened and he stayed in the house for about 2 months and didn't proceed with the divorce. For the first month he treated me very coldly and the only time we talked was when it had to do with our daughters. I slept on the couch and tried to give him as much space as he needed and only reminded him from time to time that if he ever wanted to work things out I'd be more than willing to and would be completely devoted to the process of him working things out. He even said some spiteful things during that month and distanced himself from me completely. During the second month there was a change as he began talking to me again. We talked about daily stuff and even watched movies together with the girls as a family. I felt like he wanted to try reconciling and I was so happy. I was thrilled that there might be a chance to save my family. To save us. Eventually, through the next couple of days I could sense us becoming friends all over again. He even invited me to sleep on the bed again. It was really working out and I reminded him that he could talk about anything he wanted with me. A couple of weeks passed by and we were getting along even better. We were spending time as a family again and had gotten closer with each other as well. I felt really good about the way things were going, but I wish I'd suggested marriage counseling. I just didn't want to pressure him and have him think that I wanted to sweep this situation under the rug or that I was trying to influence him to not divorce me. One night we were drinking a bit, just talking in our bedroom, and I felt a genuine connection rebuilding. It felt like we were falling for each other all over again and it made me so happy. This is the part I regret now. I decided to make a move on him and straddled him while we were laughing at a joke. We looked each other in the eyes and so naturally I began making out with him. It honestly felt like we were 20 all over again. He kissed me back as well, but after a while he just started crying. He told me to stop and said that he couldn't. I felt so awful because I felt like he wanted to, but didn't at the same time. It broke my heart to directly see just how badly my stupid decision had hurt him. I told him that I was sorry and we went to sleep. The reason I say I regret doing this is because I feel like this moment pushed him away forever. 2 days later he informed me that he wanted to go through with a divorce. He said that he just doesn't think he could make it work even after trying for the last 2 months. I wanted to fight with him about it, but I just told him that I understood. We had already decided before that if a divorce was to happen it would be on fair terms. Sure, we'd both have lawyers, but we agreed on a lot of the stuff together. He wanted to take a 2-week trip but would come back to pick up the girls after his trip. We both mutually agreed that we'd split the time with the girls after his trip. They would spend half of the week with him and the other half with me. I even helped him pack up his stuff and when we finished I just bawled my out and we hugged it out. After his 2 weeks trip he came back and it felt good seeing him again, but I knew it wasn't the same. He just smiled and we made small talk before he took the girls. We're both really good parents and want the best for our kids. Today I got served divorce papers. It hurts so much to know that I lost my best friend cause I was stupid. Sometimes I roll over to his side of the bed in the morning and I hate how I don't feel his body there anymore. I miss his smell. His smile. His voice. I miss him filling up the entire room with his loud adorable laugh. I miss him so much. The thing that hurts me the most in all of this is knowing how badly I hurt the person I love the most. I wish I could go back in time and undo what I did, but I can't. So now here I am writing about it on Reddit while crying when there's nothing that I can do about it. I wish I could let him see for himself what I genuinely feel in my heart about how sorry I am and about how I would be the most devoted wife ever if he just gave me another chance. To let him know just how much I love him and that I'd literally do anything for him. I fucked up the most perfect thing that ever happened to me. I wish I could get him back, but I know that I lost him forever. Comments. You can't cheat and seriously expect them to stay. The part where you mentioned him crying. I felt that. My ex cheated on me too, and I tried to be normal around him, and one day he tried making out with me after weeks of not being affectionate towards each other, and I just burst into tears. My mind mentally was trying to enjoy it, but physically I had no butterflies and no sparks running through my body. I felt numb. It's devastating, and you have an emptiness in your stomach. Your husband will forever wonder what it is that he did that made you do that decision. I'm sorry for your family to be broken up by such a selfish and impulsive decision. I hope you find healing and answers. I was cheated on about a year ago, and it's easily the speeptiest feeling I've ever felt because I love her so much, and it was just the ultimate betrayal. It's a huge combination of anger and sadness. It's the worst because the person you are supposed to trust and count on the most screwed you over. You can say you feel terrible all you want, but that act of betrayal says a lot about the person as well. Actions will always speak louder than words. I'm not saying you're a bad person. But the level of anger and betrayal your husband feels will take a long time to go away. He may never be the same towards you ever again, but that is why being unfaithful is the ultimate terrible thing to do to a spouse. I feel bad for your kids as well because they will pay a price for something their mother did. I feel bad for your husband because I know how awful he must be feeling. I'm still getting over my loved one screwing me over. It's permanently scarring, and what you did was all about you and no one else. Give you another chance. Why should he believe a word you say? You already said those things in front of your friends and family and hopped on another man's junk because your husband was working to put food on the table and you wanted attention. I don't think there is something fundamentally wrong with you because you did this. What I will say is you have to work on your communication and decision-making skills. Feeling neglected can and has put many people in a weird headspace where they think about going to what seems like greener pastures, and if they are not good communicators and can't express that feeling to their significant other, they become so desperate for feeling wanted that they end up making a very life-altering mistake. I'm sorry you are in this position, and I hope you guys get a chance to reconcile, and if you do, make sure to express your needs to your husband before you get to that point again. I wish you the best. I'm really sorry for you. There aren't many wives like you who would confess and own to the speep. And I know he has really taken into consideration about your infidelity, and maybe he thinks this is the best decision for him, but there is a higher possibility he might end up. Wives like you don't come around easily. You fell into temptation, and we are all humans and we make some bad choices in life, and at least once or twice we need second chances to prove ourselves. I just hope one day he will miss you and what you did and will forgive you when the pain goes away and try to make it work. No husband can imagine his wife swapping spit with another man and him trying to kiss those very same lips. Nope. Do you deserve a second chance? Yes. Yes, you do. And so does your husband. A second chance to be with the wife he married. You. To have the husband you married. And your kids deserve their parents together. To all that live perfect lives and make no mistakes. Please grow up and acknowledge that you are not perfect and have been forgiven. I hope you reach out to your husband over and over until he gives you that second chance or he puts the end to your marriage. You messed up. We all mess up, and hopefully we all have someone that loves us enough to forgive us. Having said all this, keep in mind to do something once is a mistake. But to keep doing it is a habit. I'm praying you get forgiveness from your husband. Not just for your sake but his as well. To work through this, he will know he put his best foot forward for his love for you and not walked off because of hurtful pride. You will know you have been given an opportunity to have seen total devotion of love from another human being. Make sure he sees it back every time he looks at you. Been there. Done all of this inseparably together for life. Best of luck. If you cared for your children enough, you wouldn't have cheated. Ugh. I felt neglected because he was always working. Good God. Do cheaters actually think their BS wants to be working long hours all the time? If it were the other way around, would you forgive him? I would be the most devoted wife ever if he just gave me another chance. Weird how you couldn't be the most devoted wife from the jump. You didn't know what you had until you lost it. Which seems to be a common occurrence. It started with innocent flirting, and before I knew, I made the worst mistake of my life by sleeping with him. Excuse me? Haha, what in the hell is innocent about flirting when you're a married person? You were flirting with temptation and then act all surprised when you got burned. I'm sorry for you, Op, and wish you the best. Your husband seems like a strong man. I'm sure he made you feel safe and happy. I'm sure he filled your heart with joy and made your family amazing. He was working to take care of his family and you hurt him. It's a shame, and I wish you the best. Men like your husband are very hard to find. You guys grew up together. You guys bent and changed to accommodate the other, which is something more easily done when you were younger. So sorry. When someone says once a cheater, always a cheater, I think people are looking at it all wrong. It doesn't necessarily mean they will cheat again. It means that they have cheated. And will forever be a cheater. Whether they ever cheat again or not. Because they have cheated in the past, they have a higher proclivity to cheat in the future, as they've already shown that they have the capability. Thank you for watching.